No, it's pathetic. I can't say certain words on YouTube or they block my account. And the government can shoot you in the street because you look a certain way. You look like you're from a certain part of the world just because they feel like it. But I can't say it. I won't even say the words because they'll block me. We don't live in a free world anymore. We don't live in a free country. We don't live in free speech. Uh, this is blank Germany again. And you know what blank means. And Donald Trump is Mr. H. I don't know. I don't blame Mr. H. I blame you. You voted him. So when they shoot someone in the street, I hope it's not me. You know, I won't say well I hope it is because that's probably a violation of community standards. But you know who you are. So, you know, it's just very frustrating. You know, they can unalive me in the street, put it on the news, but I can't say certain words on YouTube. Sounds like a contradiction. You know, but I don't care. I live in a safe world. My world, my little world, is a safe world, and I'm not worried. I don't look like I'm from one of those countries, and nobody's gonna bother me. But you know, it's sad. The Congress, the Senate, they all got their balls in a jar because of one man who's probably gonna be unalive very soon, only because he's 80 years old. You know, so just a law of physics. But, and then the rest of you will be left for us to deal with when he's not around anymore. And we will deal with you. Believe me. What you've done today and what you did yesterday will not be forgotten. Ever. And you are an 80. And you'll be around for a very long time. Suffering for what you did. At least that's my hope. Probably not going to happen. Yeah. It's funny how evil seems to become richer and good seems to become poorer. But you know, money is not it's not a good judge of evil and good. You know, I'm not saying all rich people are evil and all poor people are good. That's ironic, moronic. It's very moronic to say. You know, very bad poor people, very very good rich people. And I understand why rich people don't give their money away. They can't. They can't. They'd become a target of the government if they did it. You know, when you hear some billionaire being a philanthropist and giving away billions and billions of dollars, they get stopped. They get threatened. Don't do that. You know, because you're ruining the economy. We need you people to be poor. You need you to be poor so you go to work tomorrow. If I gave you $1 million today, you wouldn't go to work tomorrow. And they don't care about the money. They just care that you go to work tomorrow. It's hard to get a Big Mac if nobody's in McDonald's to cook it and give it to me. So if a philanthropist wants to give workers at a McDonald's millions of dollars, there's nobody there to cook the Big Mac. You know. That's all they care about. Yeah. So, and it's not just McDonald's, it's everything, you know. So, so the billionaires just take the money off the top. They make everybody stay poor, so everybody still has to go to work. And when you get a raise, they raise the prices. So you never really get a raise. You know, if you get a 10%, 3% raise in your check, you get a 3% raise in your rent. You know, so did you really get anything? You're still where you are. And that's the whole point. Keep you where you are. And not let you escape. You're in prison. You're in prison. And they want to keep you there. You're an SL, and then you can finish the other. So, and that's what you always be. And and don't think the rich have it all that much better. You know, yeah, they might have a nice yacht that they go spend a month in the Bahamas on, but you know, for one thing, they're like prisoners on that yacht. They can't go anywhere. You know, they have to be very careful because there's a lot of poor people that want to take what they have. And it's very hard to rest when you, every little knock and every little ding, you think somebody's boarding your boat. You know, there might be nothing, but you're awake because you heard a noise. I know people that are very rich and very neurotic, you know, they can't relax. They always think everybody's out to get them. And to an extent, they're right. You know, so, you know, you think the grass is greener on the other side. You think life is better as a rich person. And that's the paradox. You know, life is a paradox. What you think is good is actually bad, and what you think is bad is actually good. You might think your life is bad because you're poor. You want that yacht until you have it. And you're like, what did I do? This is horrible. You know, but then it's too late. You know, but I don't have a yacht. I don't need a yacht. And I'm not going to do whatever it is you need to do to get a yacht. You know, and the two best days when you own a boat is the day you buy it and the day you sell it. And I can skip those days. I don't need to buy a boat. So I have a boat in the yard next door. It sits in the driveway on a trailer. And he's probably spent a lot of money for that boat. Probably goes fishing maybe a couple times in the summer, if it even works. You know, I don't see the draw. I don't see the reason. You go to a fish store and buy fish a lot easier than buy a boat and go catch your own. So. And the way people drive on the water, it's very dangerous out there. You know, jet skis alone take you out. So, but it's a pathetic world we live in. You know, with pathetic little rules for people that are afraid, people that live in fear. That's why they have these rules where I can't say these words, and why the government unalives people in the street because they look a certain way. Because we all live in fear. I don't have any fear. I think you can tell I'm not very fearful. And I've said a lot of crazy things on my videos. But, yeah, it's not very godly to live in fear. You know, God wants to take you out. And nothing you can do to stop him. But if he doesn't, there's nothing they can do to get you. He'll protect you. And you have nothing to worry about. So I would say go with that. You have nothing to worry about. But if you're an evil poor person or evil rich person, well, maybe you have something to worry about. But either way, you can't escape it. So when it comes, it comes. Until then, enjoy your life with what little you can. So, most evil, poor or rich people, they don't enjoy their life. It's not about the money. It's just they're miserable. And that's why they're evil to everybody else, because they're not kind to themselves. And they don't know how to be kind to themselves. So they don't know how to be kind to you either. And you blame them. And to an extent, it is their fault, but it has a lot to do with how they were brought up. And, everybody's born with a personality. So a lot of it's doing how they were born and nature, nurture. But all I can say is don't try to save them. Don't try to fix them. There's a reason they're poor. There's a reason they're miserable. Just leave them that way. You found them that way? Leave them that way. That's all. Don't go out of your way to punish them. The big man upstairs doing that. So just go live your life. Go live a good life of your own. And leave them alone. Because if you try to do anything with them, you're just going to end up in their boat with them. So just put distance, put air between you and them, a lot of air, and you'll be fine. So, like I said, they're miserable because they don't know how to treat themselves. If they can't treat themselves well, then they can't treat you well either. And if all they think is winning the lottery or something is a way of being happy, the last thing the lottery is going to do is make them happy. Yeah, they'll be happy the day it happens, but the next day when they get the tax bill, they'll screw it up some way. It won't last. So don't worry. If they want some money from you, give it to them. Don't fight with them. Just give it to them. And then get away and put the air between you. And don't let them come back in your life. But it's not worth the fight. Protect your peace. Protect your privacy. Protect your sanity.